Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to live coverage of round 5 of this year's Club 100 iRacing Championship. Apologies, we had a little bit of a technical error in that I didn't press the right button. I think you are now live with us for this evening. So I'll go over what I've just said all to myself. Again, ZOLDER here tonight. First time the championship has been round this circuit. We always have to have a race in Belgium at some point. But we've not gone to Spa this year. Bit of a change to go to another of the hosts of the Belgian Grand Prix in years gone by. ZOLDER is already producing a little bit of a mix-up for the drivers. The track conditions are currently damp to drying. The track is right at the cusp of whether you change over to a dry tyre or not. Before we go more into that, let's take a look through the championship standings before this round. So this is off the back of 4 rounds, 2 in the GT3s, 2 in the MX5s. Matt Swain has a good championship lead, but very much down to all of his rivals, shall we say, have all had at least one round. It's a little bit iffy so far, so championship is definitely not done, but Matt Swain is getting a good run of form together so far this season. It really is down to the likes of Max Andrews, Ronald Grossman, Adam Brown, Axel Slijepcevic. They've got to score well tonight, otherwise, even at the halfway stage of the season, Matt Swain could be running away with this one in the Premier category. As we saw last time at the Nürburgring for the GT3s, we have had a few of the newer drivers to the championship this year change classes, go from Clubman to Premier. These are now set for the year, with the exception of rookies. Rookies can still move up to intermediate at any point of the season should they be showing intermediate level speed. Clubman at the moment is led by Tom Saunders, 611 points to Sam Spinell's 595. Cam Watson there as well in close proximity. Jack Eyre, all of his experience at the moment has him inside the top 10. Bit of a pleasant surprise as well to see Matthew Shawnee in that top 10 as well right now. Is your lead intermediate driver in 10th place. And then you've got others in the likes of Andy Alston, Axel Slijepcevic, Sam Sanders, Raul Castro, have all had at least one, at least very low scoring round or a 0 score so far this season. Also in intermediate, Peter Knight, John Adey there in the top 3 in that class at the moment as things stand. Looking into the middle of the pack, as I look to press the right button. There we go. Down to 19th place. Murray Adams has had a round off, so expect him to come back through the order. Same with Josh Mitchell. And then rookies as well. Dan Cook is currently your leader. In fact, it's a joint lead between Dan Cook and Colin Ward, both on 304. Sean Patterson not too far behind. Apologies that I've rattled through that very quickly. That was because I didn't press the right button and we weren't actually live, and we cut off a good couple of minutes of being able to run through all of that. But all the details are, of course, across on the SimGrid website. That's where all the latest scores are. Let's talk this circuit. So, I have no idea what people are going to do in terms of tyres here. I can already see some drivers going dries, some going wets. The track has been drying across the course of a 90-minute free practice session, and I think quite crucially here, the chance of rain has dropped. It was around 50 to 55% at the start of the session, 11 o'clock in Sim, 6 o'clock local time in the UK. For this point of proceedings, it was predicting a 50 to 55% chance of rain. That chance at the last check has dropped to 12%, could be next to nothing now. But the fact is, the track is damp. It is not optimum conditions for a dry tyre. If you can get heat into that tyre and head round without losing control, you could be in a good position. This could be a very mixed up grid for us here tonight. Remember, it's the same normal way of doing things. 10 minutes for everybody out there, and then they've got to get two, well, they don't have to, but they have 2 fly lap opportunities, and they've got to get them in cleanly as well. A 1x deletes your lap time. A spin, a 2x also deletes your lap time. This is going to be potentially one of the most exciting qualifying sessions we've ever had in this championship, because I don't think we've had this scenario before. We've had wet rounds. Suzuka last year was a very wet round in the MX-5s, but from my knowledge and my memory, we've not had a session going from a wet or a damp position to a drying position with, as I say, just that's how it's happened tonight. The knee points for when you go to dries has occurred probably about 2 minutes before the start of this session. So let's bring up some data for you. That's probably going to be quite helpful for us right now. I think we can bring you tyre compound information as well. So yeah, once lap times are coming in, it's probably easier for me at the moment to go through who's not on dry tyres. James Fremont is one of them. Jack Mitchell-Lowe has gone for wets. Ollie Walker has gone for wets. Jack Eyre has gone for wets. So that's the first of the big clubmans to stick with what they've been using throughout the course of the free practice session. Matt Hale has gone for wets. Simon Delamere has also gone for wets. Everybody else is on dry tyres. Sam Sanders is looking pretty quick so far. Is fastest of anyone through sector number 2. Should note as well, for anyone following the progress of new Premier Baby Prem, Ronald Grossman has registered for the lobby, but work commitments mean he's not going to take part in this qualifying session, and he might not take part in race 1 either. That, quite simply, is a registration and a hope to see the number 90 in race 2 and race 3, but he will keep himself eligible for the full attendance bonus points, which may come into play later on in the season, of course. Right, first few lap times are going to start coming in a moment. Looks like Max Andrews has gone pretty quickly so far. Has gone purple through sectors 2 and 3. 5 sectors in total round here. Matt Swain is fastest of anyone through sector number 1 and sector number 4. So this looks like it's going to be Max Andrews versus Matt Swain for the first laps here. I wonder as well, do any of our wet runners actually head in at the end of their out lap to put dries on? Jack Eyre goes fastest at the moment, so Jack Eyre has gone in with a wet lap time and done a 1:49.5, but Matt Swain's done a 1:48.12, so it looks like dry tyres are definitely the choice, the right choice for the drivers right now who've been brave and gone with that. That is the majority of the field as Max Andrews goes fastest, 1:47.833. That's quite a gap between Andrews and Swain straight away. Sam Sanders goes fastest, 1:47.768. Hasn't taken part in the... Oh, but he's run wide there, so that's not going to be any improvements on the second lap. I imagine he would have got a 1x. Yes, he has got a 1x for that, according to our information in the box. So this second flying lap will not count for Sam Sanders. Matthew Shawnee's shot up to 4th place as well. It's currently top intermediate, faster than any of the clubmans. Tom Saunders, for the record, is the fastest of the clubmans right now. And look at Colin Ward as well. Colin Ward up in P7. We said this might be a bit of a mixed up grid, and that is proving to be so at the moment. I wonder as well, with the track drying out, I know everyone's still in their little bubble universe at the moment, but does anybody just try and hold this out for another couple of minutes, let the track dry out a little bit more, and hit their 2 lap times late on in this 10-minute session? Andy Alston's gone quick, up to 4th place, fastest of anyone in the clubman category right now. Just keeping an eye on what lap times are being done by those high up the order at the moment. Here we are with Max Andrews. What is happening right now in terms of an improvement from Max Andrews? He goes up to, oh no, Matt Swain does a 1:47.6. Max Andrews improves it still further, 1:47.511. So that is a great lap time for Max Andrews. Could well give him pole position, but the track is continuing to dry. I'll be honest, I'm not quite sure what might happen here with those who've left it late on. Let's try and catch someone who's on the move a little bit at the moment. Apologies, I've got so excited with the commentary I forgot to actually switch cameras. That's not good of me. Here we go. Here is Tim Ellis. Tim Ellis at the moment in 12th place. Tom Saunders has gone fastest of anyone in Clubman up to P4. Lawrence Vines has had a good qualifying as well, up in the top 5 right now. Tom Roberts has got ahead of Matthew Shawnee. 3 races, remember, tonight, 25 minutes apiece for all of these drivers. There are still a bunch of drivers who've not gone out yet. Joao Castro, Asan Iqbal, Sam Spinell, Cam Watson, Ollie Walker. These are all drivers who have not set a lap time yet. Of those on wet tyres, Jack Eyre is still fastest ahead of Jack Mitchell-Lowe, but I'll be honest, that doesn't look to be the right choice at this present moment. Here's Michael Weddle. Let's just go back to Michael Weddle as Tom Roberts goes fastest. Oh, Tom Roberts has got in there and put in a 1:47.3 to put himself on provisional pole position. I just wonder, is someone who's left it late going to play an absolute blinder here? Sam Spinell on his first flying lap has just put in a 1:47.6, is up to first in Clubman. Keep an eye. Well, this would be very appropriate, wouldn't it? A Belgian in Belgium, round Zolder, taking at least class pole position right now. Could be more. Weddle comes over the line, that goes P12. Murray Adams has got involved as well. Murray Adams has had a bit of a quiet season so far, has shot up to 8th place, but we're sticking with Sam Spinell here because this could be a very quick lap from one of the contenders in the Clubman category. The Paragon Mazda looking really smooth at the moment, but look at that, 2 purple sectors already for the 133. Looks like Ollie Walker's had a good qualifying. He's up into the top 15. Colin Ward's leading in the rookie category right now. I do not remember a qualifying session ever like this. Spinell has not set a personal best in sector number 3. What's going to happen now? It's a pretty simple run to the line here. Mini sector number 4 is about to finish. Is it an improvement again from Spinell? It is. It's a personal best. Just the chicane to go for the driver of the 133 to potentially take pole position at home at Zolder. The first time the championship has been round this circuit. Is this an inspired run with 1 minute to go? Over the line, 4th, stays 4th, didn't get, goes up to 2nd place. Didn't quite get it right in the last sector. It wasn't a PB, it's a 1:47.358. Puts him on the front row of the grid at the moment. Here's Peter Knight over the line, another with the Paragon machines, now in the intermediate class, of course. And in fact, this is his first flying lap. Now, I'm not sure what's happened at all to Peter here. I don't think he's going to get a lap in. He's only done his outlap so far, and he's only got 30 seconds of the session to go. He's going to get some information on what the track's doing late on in this session, but it's not going to improve. Sam Sanders is still out there, but is heading into the pits. I don't think he had a valid lap really available to him at that point. And I think that is going to be all she wrote for this one, with a couple of seconds to go. Peter Knight is still out there, but he's not going to get a lap in here, so we'll start. What is that? 34th in the session. But what drama here at Zolder. That has got to be probably the most exciting qualifying session we've ever had in this championship due to the conditions. Let's take you through the grid then for race number 1. Tom Roberts nailed the conditions. 1:47.331 gives him pole position for this first race of the night. Sam Spinell with that inspired run, just going a little bit later, letting the track dry out a bit more, gets himself up onto the front row of the grid. Second row of the grid, Max Andrews and Matt Swain. Row 3, Murray Adams and Sam Sanders. Joao Castro and Andy Alston go from row 4. It's then Tom Saunders and Lawrence Vines on row number 5. Matthew Shawnee and Sam Dimmerlow, they go from row number 6. Good qualifying from both of those intermediates there to get themselves well up the order here in these tough conditions. Cam Watson and Mike Weddle up next. Row 7, Ollie Walker and Colin Ward. Row 8, John Adey and Tim Ellis. Row 9, Jack Eyre, who went with wet tyres, of course, and Eric Mignon. 10th row of the grid. Ward first in rookie, Mignon second in rookie, and ahead of Jack Mitchell-Lowe there as well, and Adam Brown there, row 11, Sean Patterson and David Whitehouse there next up on row number 12. Shuffling down to the last rows of the grid then, Aaron Singh, James Fremont, Matt Hale, Simon Delamere, Craig Brown, Kira Boylan, Athena Cooper, Ronald Grossman, Peter Knight, Dan Cook and Hassan Iqbal complete the grid here. Looks like everyone has gone for dry tyres. Some drivers, I think, are going to take the full amount of time here to grid up just to give themselves all of the data that they need to make sure that they get these choices right. This could be an explosive first lap here at Zolder. The lights are going to come on one by one. Standing start, of course, for us here in the MX-5s. Round 5 of this year's Club 100 iRacing Championship is going to be going in a moment. Now, I think I've just realised something. Have I put this on rolling starts and not standing starts? If I have, that's me. That's my bad. This may be a slight change for us tonight in terms of how things run for the opening part of these races. Oh dear, that one's on me because normally they do a standing start for MX-5s. I think they're going to do a rolling start tonight. Anyway, it's going to keep people in some circumstances. I think this is good circumstances because the drivers are going to need a little bit of heat into their tyres. Sorry, this is on me. It's been a busy week again. But it will give the drivers, as I say, a little bit of an opportunity just to get everything together. Oh dear, have we had problems straight away for some of the drivers? Yes, I think we have. Hassan Iqbal has had an incident out there. I think Ati Cooper has as well from the grid. So the drivers heading down towards what will be another area of intrigue tonight, this chicane. From those who've raced around this place on iRacing will know you can quite easily pick up a slowdown in this part of the circuit, so we're going to need to be keeping on top of that situation tonight as well. Second chicane is going to be intriguing for the drivers as well. Very easy to hit those sausage curbs and go for a little bit of a spin. Should also note as well, once again, like we saw at Knock Hill, quite a lot of debris around the circuit. It's been dragged onto the track across the course of the free practice session. So all set to go then here for round 5 of the Club 100 iRacing Championship. Something a little bit different for the MX-5s, not intentional, but we'll make it work. It is a rolling start for everybody. Effectively, it's a safety car start for these races here tonight in these damp conditions. Away we go then with Tom Roberts leading the field in the early stages. Sam Spinell still there in second place. Hopefully they're all going to be able to make their way through the first few corners. We have had a couple of drivers already have some bother in the opening stages. Looks like Max Andrews has had a good start. Is up to P2 immediately in this one, ahead of Sam Spinell. But off of turn number 2 they go then. Let's ride on board with our championship leader into this part of the circuit. Give us a bit of a feel of what's going on out there. How much grip is there at the driver's disposal? Looking pretty good through that part of the course. Looks like there's been a problem for Colin Ward in the early stages of this race. What's happened here? Close moment with Adam Brown. Oh dear, turned into the wall. That's a big hit for Colin Ward, and hopefully everybody else will be able to avoid. Colin thankfully lands in a little runoff that the course vehicles normally use, and everybody else has been able to avoid him there. That is not a good way to start one of these races. There's been problems as well for Eric Mignon. Eric Mignon would have... Oh, that's a big hit as well for Eric Mignon. That was before the first chicane. Damage will cut to the pits. Is out of contention in this one. That's a shame after a strong qualifying. Lawrence Vines has had issues as well. This is down into the second chicane. Mike Weddle on the inside. Oh, he's going to get a little bit of a tap there. Files off the circuit. Oh, it spins right in the middle of everybody. Sam Dimolo makes contact with the 100 and is out of contention in this one as well. Oh dear, that is not what we want to see. But back on board with Matt Swain then. Well, we said at the top of the show that it would be up to rivals a little bit further down the championship order to take the fight to the championship leader. Looks like we've got a bit of a squabble going on directly ahead for the race lead as Max Andrews runs out wide, and that's going to allow Sam Spinell back into second place. Matt Swain's going to retake third. Well, that's an easy way for the championship leader to move back up the order and into the podium positions. Murray Adams potentially going to get involved there as well. P5 at the moment. It's been a decent start for the Scottish driver. Sam Sanders P6. Raul Castro holding himself nicely in the top 10 right now. It's been a ferocious start to this race then. There's been some other incidents out there to report on. I think Atty Cooper has had an issue, started this race from the pits. May actually just be heading back into the pits in that one. We'll cut back to the race lead because Tom Roberts is under a lot of pressure here right now from Sam Spinell. Sam Spinell, who nearly pulled off that absolute worldie in qualifying. He's going to be right on the tail now and he's having a look down the inside. That's going to be a very tight entry into that part of the circuit. Not really a way through there at that part of the course. Back with our race leaders as they come across the line. Very close run thing, this one. Going to be tricky for drivers to get off the racing line, though. Matt Swain's going to have a look down the inside for second place. Not enough grip, though. Roberts nearly runs wide. In fact, they've all run wide. This could be Swain's opportunity to take the lead, and does so. Here goes Max Andrews looking around the outside. Murray Adams is going to get involved there as well, although suddenly disappears. Oh, I hope that that's not Murray Adams having a disconnect. No, he's back in there in third place. It was just a momentary lapse of sight for Murray Adams, but look at this battle through the next couple of corners. It's going to be side by side between the top two in the championship, heading towards the first chicane. Max Andrews has got to go aggressive here. He's got to take points away from Matt Swain and gets the position. Gutsy stuff there from Max Andrews. There's a spin in the background, and that's Sam Sanders off in the wall. Sam Sanders off in the wall. What happened there? He's going to be able to rejoin, hopefully without damage, but it's a long way down the order now. It's outside the top 15 now. What happened? What was the cause of that spin for Sam Sanders? There's damage on the front of Sam Dimolo's car as well. Oh, it's contact with Roberts. 2 into 1, simply not going through the first chicane. Sam Sanders nearly loops it round again there, eventually gets it back on track, but it's a long, long way down the order now in 19th place. Bit of a move further up the order. Looked like Matthew Shawnee going through past Jack Mitchell-Lowe has lost the lead in the early stages of this race in the intermediate category. Let's just give you those scores on the doors in the intermediate category. Oh, that was the wrong button, Andrew. There we go. It's Ollie Walker currently leading in the class for those looking to develop their skills, get a little bit quicker, having moved up from the rookie category. So Walker, Ady, Shawnee, Dimolo, Hale, Whitehouse, Knight, Brown, Fremont, currently your 9 runners there. And that's part of the order. Back at the front, Max Andrews leads this race. He's actually pulling away now from Matt Swain. Murray Adams up into the lead in the clubman category. Good to see that. I think we've got pretty much everyone still running in this race. 35 drivers started it. Should note as well, Ronald Grossman has made it into the race. He's currently up to P21, having started at the back of the grid. Let's actually go on board with the German, trying to make his way up through the order. Remember, the results from the end of race number 1 set the grid for race number 2. So it is damage limitation mode at the moment for Ronald Grossman. As other potential problems. I can see a couple of yellow flag notices out as Grossman makes a bold move down the inside, gets through, takes another position. Did see. No, he's okay. I thought Murray Adams might have a problem there, but still running right now in 3rd place. I think there's been an issue though, unfortunately for Asan Iqbal. What's happened here to Asan, one of our rookies? He's currently running in 31st place. Oh, the back end of the car's just going to step out there. Oh, I thought Asan was going to hold on to that, but unfortunately it loops round. But no damage on the car. That's the most important thing off the back of a situation like that. So Max Andrews leads this race from Matt Swain. Murray Adams in 3rd. Then back to this battle here with Andy Elston at the moment, nicely scoring in 4th place. Ahead of Saunders, Castro, Watson. Sam Spinell has fallen down the order. Now, can we find out why that was? Yes, I think Sam's had an issue. Now that was the back end of that issue. So some form of contact there has relegated Sam down the order by quite a few positions. So that's why he's down in 11th place right now. But he is the fastest driver on circuit. 146.68. Closing in on Adam Brown. And then Mike Weddle ahead. It's the 3rd appearance for Mike Weddle this season. I think we may have had an issue as well for Craig Brown. Craig, who missed round 4, stuck on the exit of the first chicane. Should just try and see what the cause there. Oh, it's going to be driver error, I think. Yeah, bounces across the curb, loses control into the gravel trap. Oh, and quite hard hit into the barriers. As the Brown falls down the order in this one. Sam Sanders fighting back. This was part of the reason why we saw Sam Sanders fighting back. Tim Ellis momentarily going off our screens. Yeah, then finding himself out wide on the greasy stuff and loses position there. So looks like Sanders now back up to P16 in this one. Changed for the race lead. Let's have a look at how it happened through turn 1. Oh, well, that's quite smart driving there from Matt Swain. Managed to get his nose down the inside of Max Andrews. Andrews had to run wide onto the wet stuff and through into the race lead. Very, very nicely done there by the championship leader. Very shrewd indeed. Looks like Lawrence Vines has had an incident out there. Lawrence Vines, who had dramas in the early stages of this race, has had repairs done. Remember, everyone has one fast repair across the course of these 25-minute races. Oh dear, and he's just going to pivot things around there, go for a little bit of a spin. Position to Asan Iqbal. Sam Spinell continuing his progress back up through the order. And, takes 10th position away there from Adam Brown, who's made good progress so far in this race, up 11 positions. Isn't the biggest gainer in the race so far. That honour goes to Ronald Grossman. 14 positions gained already. Could be 15 very soon, because he's got Tim Ellis lined up next, potentially for a bit of a move down into the hairpin. Sweetly done there. Pretty straightforward move. Puts Grossman up to 17th place, making light work. And Sam Dibelow still running around there with significant damage to the front end of the car, but doesn't seem to be affecting the pace too much at the moment. Just to note, where is Sam in terms of class position? It's just 4th at the moment, not too far behind the top 3 within that flurry of runners. He's got the leader in the rookie category immediately behind him as well. Jack Mitchell-Lowe looking pretty good right now for a run to some strong points. You would expect that from Jack. Jack does do MX5 racing in real life, and he does it in the UK, so he'll be more than used to slippery conditions in a machine like this. Bit of dust being kicked up by someone in the not too far distance. I don't think anyone was fully off the track there though, so they'll continue round. Back with our race leaders then. Not over yet between Matt Swain and Max Andrews. The other trouble for Andrews, not only is he losing points at the moment to the championship leader, but look at the gap back to 3rd, 4th, 5th. So even if he was to get back ahead, I don't think there's much risk at the moment of Matt Swain losing out on too many points at this stage of the evening. There has been an issue though for Tom Roberts. What has happened to the pole sitter? Now this was just going over the top of the hill. Sam Spinella got back ahead into P9. Oh, and it's another incident for the number 66. I don't think that was of their own cause. Adam Brown was involved there. There's significant damage to the front end of the number 66, and all of that hard work earlier on in the sessions means that, oh, look at how much water you kick up if you go off the racing line. That's quite telling for the conditions out there at the moment. Roberts is going to be in the pits and out of contention in this one. Max Andrews still there. You've got traffic coming up, have the race leaders. I think it's Atty Cooper who had problems on the formation lap. Quick review down the rest of the classes. Murray Adams still leading in Clubman. Ollie Walker likewise in the intermediate category. Jack Mitchell growing his lead now in the rookie ranks. Problems for Sean Patterson. Seeing flashing up on the events log what has happened here. It's down at the first chicane. Matt Hale was on the inside there. It's a little bit slippery in that. Oh dear, and that's going to be a little bit of a touch and a spin for the 311. That's the tricky thing with trying to get down the inside with these track conditions. It being still quite slippery, there is that risk under braking. The overtaking car can lose a bit of control. Out of the way gets Atty Cooper, lets the leaders go through. Craig Brown's had a further problem out there, or may have just pulled out of the way here to let the leaders go through. Yes, I think that is just him letting the leaders go through, having been a lap down. 15 minutes of this race gone. 10 minutes to go. 3 races again tonight. Leaning to Lawrence Andrews, will be liking this at the moment. Max Andrews in 2nd place, pulling a big gap to the leaders behind. Good battle, I think, going on between Matthew Shawnee and Ollie Walker. Indeed there is. In fact, there's been a change in the lead in the intermediate category. So what has happened here to Ollie Walker? There is damage on the front of that car. Has there been a drama? Not seeing any off-track events for Ollie Walker. He's definitely lost a lot of positions there. And just try and find where Ollie initially lost positions. No, Ollie was in a fight with Ronald Grossman. This was at the start of the lap. I wonder, is Ollie just going to get a bit wide here? Oh no, I think they've just been backed up into the pack there in that fight between Grossman and Walker. That is making things interesting again in the intermediate category. Grossman plus 19 positions now. Looks like Hassan Iqbal maybe in a spot of bother as well, seeing the black flag being shown to Hassan Iqbal. Remember, all drivers have a limit on how many incident points they are allowed. If they hit that limit, which is 17 incident points during one of these races, they serve a drive-through penalty. And if they get another 10, it's a full disqualification from the race. Good scrap going on involving João Castro. It's just got past Cam Watson. It's right on board with Cam Watson towards the chicane. In the distance there you can see Andy Alston now running in 5th place. Tom Saunders has had a decent middle part of this race up to P4. Through the second chicane, see the cars are moving around quite a lot, understandable with the state of the conditions. Looking a bit further back, running on the rear bumper here of Sam Spinell. Adam Brown just behind, coming out over the curb once again. Still in full control, though, are the race leaders, Swain and Andrews. Nearly 7 seconds the advantage now for these two over Murray Adams. This would be a best result of the season so far for Murray if it could stay this way. Just a note as well that Robert's still running in this race. He's down in 28th spot now. He's trying to close in on Kira Boylan at this stage of the race. See Hassan Iqbal there. He's just pulled out of the way of the drivers in the lead of this race. So it goes off the lead lap. Shouldn't be as much blue flag activity as there was at Knock Hill a month ago. Changes in the battle for 8th place. Looks like Sam Spinell has got through past Mike Weddle, and Mike Weddle has also fallen behind Adam Brown. So, in fact, I think we can have a look at how that occurred. So Spinell had already got through at this point, and that's a nice move from Adam Brown down the inside. We'll hold the racing line. Not too much that Weddle can do from that position. It's always going to be on the outside, the greasy part of the circuit. Loses the position. Scrap going on between Castro and Alston here. This is over P5. João Castro didn't have a good round 4 at the Nürburgring. Didn't score any points. Had problems, but did attend the round. So is still in contention for the full amount of attendance bonus points that drivers get if they compete in every single round of the season. And this is a good showing so far from the former Clubman points leader going into that 4th round of the championship in Germany. Right now trying to find a way through past Andy Alston. Again, I keep seeing on the scorecard, on the timing tower there, Sam Spinell fastest of anyone, 146.331. I do think that's the driver that we're going to need to keep an eye on later on in the evening. Oh, until he's had a spin. Oh, now what has happened there with Sam Spinell? Just cut to it on board. Was he going for an overtake? What has happened here for the driver who was on the front row of the grid? Now this was with Cam Watson. This was just behind the onboard that we were with. Little bit of gravel. Oh, he's going to lose the back end. Oh no, collision. Contact with Cam Watson. Cam Watson into the gravel. Two drivers both committed to their corner entries, finding each other in the middle of the circuit. That was quite a strange one in a way. But down the order goes Sam Spinell for the 2nd time in this race. Now, where is Watson? Is Watson out? I think Watson's out of this race. Yeah, Watson has jumped to the pits. So there must have been heavy damage on the car there for Cam Watson. And we'll have a look at his view of it. This was the opposite side of it. Oh, yeah. And I think damage to the front right in particular for the 148. That's a real shame for Cameron. He was having a strong run up to that point, but out of the race, big loss of points. I have to say it's been a bit of a theme for the clubmen so far this season. Turns of speed, many of them, but just whoa, as Grossman's all out of control. Grossman out of control, nearly joining the list of clubmen to make really good progress, but not be able to get to the end of the race. That was a close, mighty moment for Ronald Grossman, who loses out to Sean, he loses out to Sam Dimolo, who's quite clearly showing that you don't need a front bumper on this generation of MX-5 round Zolder, because he's continuing to pound round high up the order. My, oh my. Let's see if we can have another look at that that near miss for Ronald Grossman. Now, this was a part of it, so yeah, just runs wide there. Nearly gets on the brakes very well there. That car's going straight to the wall if Grossman doesn't get on the brakes. But he did, and keeps himself in the running. Tim Ellis looks to be in the pits. Now, why is that? Is that because of damage? Is that because of an incident? Yes, I think Tim Ellis has been in the wall. Ooh, that car already looks damaged on its way down to the second chicane. And yeah, I think front left damage, possibly, the way that that car was reacting. Either way, Tim in the pits, gets a fast repair. Might just keep himself on the lead lap, though, which is good news for him. Let's have a look at our leaders then in the clubman category. Murray Adams, this has been a return to form for Murray. And right now, running in third place. Tom Saunders, not too far behind, trying to get Murray Adams off the racing line. But no luck yet for the driver of the 110. If you want to get involved in the championship, we are actually sold out for the allocation of 50 drivers at the moment. We might look at increasing that again, because the max number, or the biggest number of drivers that we've had in a single night is 42. So potentially at those kind of rates, we can get a few more drivers on the grid or in the entry. Here's a good chance though for Saunders. Saunders looking around the outside of Adams. That's good control of the inside line for Murray Adams. And right now holds on to third place, on board with Tom Saunders. Down towards the chicane. You don't want to take too much curb of that first part of the chicane. That was spot on from Tom Saunders. And such is the way with this circuit right now. It's going to be very tricky for everybody out there to get off the racing line and get the move done on the brakes. It's very much one of those circuits where you've got to be bold on the brakes, firm on them round here. But now it looks like Tom Saunders has been able to get Adams off the racing line. Adams will still be on the inside there. Controls it again very nicely off of the bend. And still these two going side by side. This is a really good fight. Two strong drivers. Murray Adams has been in the championship for a good few years. Tom Saunders, and well, not a novice, but new to this particular grid. Murray Adams using all of his skill. He's one of the drivers who came through from what is now the intermediate category. Oh, no, sorry, that's the end of the race. Sorry, I got carried away with myself there and missed that we were on to 25 minutes. So Matt Swain takes the race win from Andrews, Adams, Saunders, Castro, Brown, Weddell, Alston and Spinell. Sorry, I was so engrossed in that battle between Murray Adams and Tom Saunders I missed it was the final lap. My bad. It's the end of a long season. So Swain takes it in Premier. Adams takes it in Clubman. Looks like Matthew Shawnee's got the win in the intermediate ranks. And then a win as well for Jack Mitchell-Lowe in the 15th place there. Good results for all of those drivers. In fact, let's take you through a full run through of that in a minute. So I can find the button for showing the results. Oh, they're not actually up yet because we've still got a few drivers coming round to finish the race. But a dramatic start to that one. Tempered down a little bit, probably the conditions playing into that. Not too much overtaking going on across the course of those last few laps. Looks like everyone is now over the line, and we can bring you the results from race number 1. We'll be we'll quickly run through this. It's of course the gridding up for race number 2 goes on. There will be a formation lap, of course, because some fool has set this to be rolling starts tonight and not standing starts. That is my bad. Matt Swain won the race, though. Will have pole position for race number 2. Max Andrews second. Murray Adams, Tom Saunders, Joao Castro. That's your top 5. Adam Brown, Mike Weddle, Jack Eyre, Andy Alston, and Sam Spinell, all in the top 10. So good points for them. Sam Sanders recovers to 11th after that spin down at the first chicane with Shawnee, your winner in the intermediates. Once again, really good result there. Will extend his lead, of course, in the intermediate standings. Remember, again, all of the points for these races are allocated by race position. Race overall position, not class position. 13th for Grossman, 14th for Sam Dimelo, Jack Mitchell-Lowe 15th, Ollie Walker, David Whitehouse and Peter Knight all in the top 18 as the formation lap for race number 2 begins. We'll just continue to run through the results from race number 1. Dan Cook, Matt Hale, they're all in the top 20. Aaron Singh in the end comes home in 21st place. I think that might be a podium in rookie class for Aaron. Simon Delamere, Sean Patterson, James Fremont and Tom Roberts all in the top 25. Kira Boylan, Lawrence Fines, Tim Ellis all in the top 28 and on the lead lap. Off the lead lap were the following drivers: Cam Watson, Asan Iqbal, John Adey, Colin Ward, Craig Brown, Atty Cooper and Eric Mignon. So there we go. That's things done for race number 1. The drivers here looking for a strong race number 2. Can anyone beat this man, though? It has been a very, very strong start to things for Matt Swain, and even though he didn't have pole position tonight, he has shown that he's got the ability to keep himself at the front, keep himself out of trouble as well. That's a really important part of things in that first race. Looks like we've had a problem for Colin Ward on this formation lap. We might have just started, stopped and then got going again. Yeah, I think that's a falsie. That's not an actual problem for Colin Ward. So it'll be the same again for the drivers. 25 minutes, hopefully a bit more overtaking in this one. Hopefully the chance for everybody to get on board with getting things going early in this race. I think there is still a little bit of a chance of rain, but it's down to single figures in terms of percentage now. Here we go then for race number 2. Can Max Andrews get the best of Matt Swain in the early stages of this one? Can Murray Adams respond and get another best result of the season so far? We are away in racing once again here at Zolder. Very good start for those on the pole side of the grid. Swain will lead down towards turn 1. There's going to be a scrabble for the dry part of the circuit through the first few corners in this one. Murray Adams has got up to second place in the early stages. Joao Castro on the move as well, has got Adam Brown for company. Adam Brown very aggressive in the early stages of this one, is already up to P4. But it is early advantage to Swain. Now you've got to think, if you're Max Andrews, you've got to get through past Murray Adams as quickly as possible, because we saw how those top two were able to pull away from the rest. Max Andrews doesn't want to be too long behind Murray Adams. Of course, Murray Adams could have a bit more pace in this race. I'd be hoping for that to try and keep Matt Swain under a bit of pressure. Still a fair amount of debris out there with gravel. A damp line, but tyres definitely the order of things right now for all of these competitors. Clean start, no issues, no reports of major incidents on the first lap. Look at this is where Matt Swain's really strong. Sector kind of number 3, the mini sectors round this circuit is where he's pulling away. Max Andrews has got to make the move here, I think, otherwise he's going to have no chance of winning this race. He's got down the inside. Nice move from Max Andrews. Had to make that overtake, had to go for it, had to clear Murray Adams after that strong start for the 122. Has done so, and can now set about trying to close in on the race leader. Good scrap going on for 4th place as well between Adam Brown and Joao Castro. Leading behind them, Jack Ayres had a decent start to this one. Obviously went for the wrong tyre choice in qualifying. That set him back a bit, but he's working his way nicely up the order at the moment. It's the driver there in the 113. Let's in fact go on board with Jack Ayres. SpongeBob car. Oh, Jack Ayres running a bit wide there. Has to get out of the throttle. Is having a little bit of a look down the inside of Joao Castro into the second turn. Tell you what else is interesting right now. Look at how much the gap has closed between Swain and Andrews. Max Andrews, to me, looks like he's got more pace than Matt Swain. The trouble is, can he find a place around this circuit where there's enough grip to get down the inside and overtake? Right now, that looks like there's pretty long odds on that one. There have been incidents out there that will bring to you. Jack Mitchell-Lowe has had a problem. What happened here? This was the second half of lap number 1. That's David Whitehouse in the Alpha Live intermediate car just ahead of him. Oh, big no, that's too much. Too much from Ollie Walker. That was down the inside. Oh, and that's not a great rejoin as well from Jack, and takes out one of the Motorsport Woman cars. That was the 314 of Kira Boylan, who is out of this race. But yeah, that wasn't the greatest moment from Ollie Walker, who did pick up a few penalties last time at the Nürburgring. That looks like a pretty slam dunk one. Looks like Tim Ellis had problems as well on the coming out of the hairpin and bang into the wall. That's going to be rear left done, and in fact I don't think that car's going anywhere, so Tim Ellis is out of the race. Hassan Iqbal looks to have had issues as well. Oh no, this feels like it's going to be another one of those moments where someone gets turned into a wall, and no, in fact Hassan's just going into the pits. Possibly with some that actually might have had something from the race start, an infringement from the race start, that might have meant that Hassan has had to go into the pits. But back with our race leaders then. Max Andrews right behind Matt Swain. I tell you what, Murray Adams has got better pace in this race, because Murray is not being dropped this time, and is staying with these top two. Adam Brown is still holding in 4th place. Now I'm seeing yellow flags out on the screen for a moment for Sam Dimolo and Matthew Shawnee. No, it seems like they're all okay at the moment. So top 3 breaking away then. Looks like Matt Hale's had a moment out there on circuit. What's happened here to the... Oh, that's quite a moment. That's a sausage curbing for the G3 Pro car. Which I've just noticed it's not got any Leffe logos on it. Come on, man. You've got to have a Leffe logo on in Belgium. Oh, no, he has. He's got one on the rear bumper. Track continuing to dry. Lap time's now down into the 145s. Sam Spinell again, who looks to be, at least on single lap pace, have the most pace of anyone, but is involved in another incident. Oh, and this time with Adam Brown. Well, that is not good at all for two drivers, and well, that's their race done. That is their race evening done in terms of good results, because they've both now fallen a long way down the field. My goodness me. Sam Spinell has had, well, quite a few commentator curses tonight. Oh, so Adam lost it ahead of him, and Sam was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Oh, I don't think that was really down to anyone's particularly, you know, I don't want to use the term bad. I don't think there was any bad driving there. That was just a simple case of one driver losing control and the other driver just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But it drops them a long way down the order. Look at the damage now on the front of Sam Spinell's car, down in P27. As, oh, off in the wall there. Who was that? I think that was Craig Brown. Yeah, Craig Brown off in the wall. Well, we saw Craig have that incident in the first race. And it's happened again through the chicane. Let's have a, oh, that's a huge, oh, that is the biggest curb hop that I think you will see tonight. And that is the result of it. Drivers were warned about that, of taking too many liberties through that part of the course. Was that Adam Brown just pulling off the circuit? I think it was. Or has Adam had a problem? Seeing an off-track notice again. As he had, well, he's gone off the road there. He may have had a slowdown for that, which is why he was just holding off to one side. So, dramas again in the early stages of this one. Oh, look at this. Murray Adams going for second place, trying to find his way through past Max Andrews. Really, really good run this from Murray Adams. As I said at the top of the show, it's had a pretty quiet season so far. Hasn't been able to make it for every single round. But this is more like the Murray that we saw maybe a couple of seasons ago. Coming back to the fore, and that's the thing with the Clubman category this year. If you get a bit of a run going, get a bit of form, there's another round before the Christmas and New Year break. That'll be 2 weeks' time, at a new circuit for the championship again, Portimao in Portugal in the GT3s. Could be quite chilly by Portuguese standards when we go there in a couple of weeks. Oh, I think Murray's again. I hope this happened a couple of times tonight that Murray's disappeared from the screen. It's thought the worst, but no, don't worry. Murray's still there. Let's have a run down through the classes then. So here's your story in the Premier class right now. Swain from Andrews, Sanders, Roberts, Grossman and Brown. Meanwhile in the Clubman category, quite clearly see there, Murray Adams top of the table in that segment of the field. If it's your first time watching one of these streams and maybe wondering, well, why is Murray Adams, based on this performance, not up in the Premier category? All of the classes calculated by a combination of previous results within this championship, or within the series organisers' championships, and then also the sustained iRating over time is looked at for the drivers. To put it into context, Murray Adams is a 2.4k iRated driver. Right here tonight, driving a lot faster than that. We're going to go back to our race leaders. Oh, that was close. Max Andrews had a little look down the inside of Matt Swain there, and I do maintain, I think Max Andrews on pure pace is quicker tonight than Matt Swain, but Matt Swain has track position. Right now, that is the all-important thing. Andrews has got the pace, but can't use it, hasn't got that clear road to run into. Hopping down into intermediate, got to say this is a really good drive from Peter Knight, up to 9th place overall. Has got a 4.5 second lead over Matthew Shawnee as the next intermediate. Sam Dimolo having a good night as well, up in the top 3 in the intermediate ranks again. And they are just coming over the brow of the hill. Tom Roberts just behind. Tom Roberts currently your biggest mover in this race, up 12 positions. And then in the rookie category as well, Jack Mitchell-Lowe still leading in that one ahead of Sean Patterson. Dramas though. João Castro has had an incident. What has happened to the driver flying the flag for Brazil? This was down into the hairpin. Is this contact induced? It is contact induced. Oh dear. That looked to be, I think that was Andy Alston getting into the back of the 121. Going round and falling down the order. Well, thankfully, I don't think there'll be too much damage for João there. But he won't be too impressed at that scenario. That was a bit of a 50-50 move, it looked to be, from Andy Alston. João will start what will hopefully be for him a bit of a drive back through the field. Gets back ahead with Sam Dimolo for 11th place. Atam Iqbal has had a drama out there. Oh dear, we all know what's going to be happening here. Oh, bit of inexperience. Goes off the road. Can he gather it up? Oh, nearly does a bit of a spin. Does actually very well there, does Atam, to keep it out of the barriers. Athena Cooper as well has had a problem. And this was back end of the car, just over rotated. Little spin. No problem there. We'll get back into the race. No damage on the car at all. Hattie having a good run tonight. Hattie, our youngest driver in the field. Turned 13 earlier on this year. And still running on the lead lap. That's a step forward for Hattie. Good to see. For Michael Weddle out there, showing us having had an off-track excursion. Oh, that is quite the off-track excursion and a hit into the wall. Oh, so that's one of the front runners in the Clubman category. And again, good pace, but not able to keep it clean throughout the course of the race. Michael Weddle into the pits. And, well, it won't be a long stop because Michael will use the fast repair. Well, in fact, see that fast repair in action in a moment. Oh dear, no, that's more damage for Michael Weddle. I don't think Michael could quite see where he was going there, and made contact. Yeah, I think that is the view that Michael's got. I don't think he saw that there was a little bit of another traffic calming measure for him to navigate. But still, it's all right because there's the fast repair in action. Will get back out on circuit, no need for fuel. And is back on his way. Change though, change for the race lead. Max Andrews has got through. Now, where did it happen? I think it's been earlier on this lap. Here it is. Here's where it was. It was down into turn one. It was, well, it's the repeat move. Well, this is what Matt Swain did to Max Andrews in race one. Max has learnt from it and taken the race lead. However, hasn't got the race win yet. 11 minutes of this one to go. If the result was to stay this way, this would tie things up on points for the night. Remember, it's irrespective of what the format is, 240 points is the maximum that you can achieve across the course of an evening in this championship. On an MX5 night, those 240 points are equally spread across the 3 races. So 80 points from race 1 has already gone the way of Matt Swain. Could 80 points go the way here of Max Andrews to add to the 74 that he got earlier on in the evening? And here's the halfway stage of the season. I just think if Max Andrews could take this race win, this would be a big one. This would be a really, really big win for Andrews. And Matt Swain knows it. Matt Swain is going to try and take this race lead back, or maybe just try and work at the moment with Max Andrews. Go, okay, yeah, if you want to lead this race, you want to have that extra speed, I'll go with you. I'll take a second place right now with the number of points already secured earlier on in the championship. If you're enjoying the feed, do make sure that you click that like button if you're new around here as well. Don't mind subscribing, it really does help us out. We're on the road to try and get up to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this season. I just see it here with like the karting strategy of work with the driver ahead, push away, make sure that you get at least second place. Saying that, this is quite a drive from Murray Adams. This is a return to form for Muzza. We'll be enjoying this one as well. Remember with the dropped scores as well, that dropped scores come into a play across the course of a worst night. It's not like, say, Club 100 Senior Sprints format of dropped scores, where it's a heat here, a heat there, and then your worst final at some round whenever it was. It's a dropped score system that very much rewards consistency. Also means that if a driver's got good results early on in the night, it'd be wise not to just throw it away later on in proceedings. Looks like we're having a good scrap between Sam Sanders and Andy Alston. We'll pick that one up. Peter Knight up in P5 as well. What a run this is. Peter Knight, who started the season, in fact, as a rookie, and got moved up in the analysis of all the points after the first 3 rounds. Well, he's really showing himself not just to be worthy of a move up to intermediate, but potentially a very strong runner here in this in the green category. Here goes Sam Sanders, though. Sam Sanders is going to have a look here. Thank you very much, Seb Algieri. Lando showering the champagne. Will he be doing that on Sunday? We'll wait and see. That's a nice move from Sam Sanders to go through and into P6 ahead of Andy Alston. Bit of a curious one this for Sam Sanders. Sam hasn't done either of the GT3 rounds so far this season. So the first one of those will go down as his GT3 drop. Everybody drops their worst GT3 nights, their worst MX5 night, and then their next worst night that hasn't already been dropped. So as things stand, Sam would drop those 2 GT3 nights. Some MX5 night potentially in the future or earlier on in the season. It means he's not got a lot of wiggle room on the old drop scores front for a championship bid. Could still very much come into play later on in the season, as he did 1 year ago. Had some round wins in the second half of the 2024-2025 Club 100 iRacing Championship. Will be a bit bothered that he's outside the top 5 at the moment. The likes of Max Andrews and Matt Swain scoring very well and very consistently so far this season. Is there going to be a chance here, though? Probably not into these corners, just not enough grip at the moment on the inside of the chicane, of the first chicane. Same as well for the second chicane, and maybe down into the hairpin. That's where we've been seeing a lot of the overtaking taking place so far tonight. 2 very experienced drivers here, both in sim racing and in real life motorsport. This is a good run for Sanders, and I think he's going to have Knight on the outside here for the run down towards the hairpin. And a pretty straightforward overtake there from Sam Sanders. Back into the top 5, and with now a little bit of clean road ahead of him, could be an opportunity to move back towards the likes of Saunders and Adams late on in this race. Probably not Adams in this one. He's still just there behind the top 2. Saunders potentially does look a little bit vulnerable there with 5 minutes of this race to go. Here's the view from the nose cam then of Murray Adams' 122. Through the third turn of this Zolder circuit. That's a nice line from all 3 involved. A little bit of dirt being kicked up there by Max Andrews. Still very much in control here as they run into the last 5 minutes of this race. notes on those further down the order. It's been a good run for Cam Watson. Cam Watson currently your biggest mover in this race, up 17 places. Of course, Cameron Watson was up in the top 6. Had that incident with Sam Spinell, fell down the order. But has got himself back into a strong position here. Could be a factor in race number 3. Could be on for another big points haul to keep himself in the top 10 in the championship standings. Robert Grossman just ahead. Hasn't quite been able to make as much progress in this second race as we saw in the first race for Grossman. Just an improvement of 2 places in this one. I think it's got to be said, the driver with the most impressive drive, it's not the most positions gained, but Tom Roberts plus 15 places so far in this race. Here is the battle for 7th place. Oh, now does Joao Castro just pick up a slowdown there? Ran very wide and then pulled over to one side of the track. Loses 9th place to Roberts as a result. I think that may have been a bit of a slowdown territory there. Jack Eyre nicely coming into play now with 3 minutes of this race to go. It's up to P6. Peter Knight just fading a bit in the second half of this race. Go back on board again with Andy Alston here. Into the chicane as Jack Eyre runs really wide there out of the first chicane. Gets away with it though. Don't think Peter's going to have a route down the inside into this next corner. Might all stack up as they go towards the hairpin. But my oh my, it is the hot spot of activity round this circuit. That run through the quick left and the quick right, so easy to lose control. Just coming off of those curbs. No changes at the moment between these drivers. Head back to your race leaders then. Max Andrews looks to have this one under control. Has got about half a second over the next driver. So this would be a 6-point return for Max Andrews over Matt Swain. As we've seen, one mistake round this circuit can have quite profound effects. The walls are close, the gravel traps are close. The curbs do like to bite the competitors here, but that is spot on running from both Andrews and Swain through that part of the course. Murray Adams, I think, is just settled for 3rd place now, knows that he doesn't want to push things too hard. He's probably not quite got the pace to get past one of these two today, or particularly in this race. And a very, very good haul of points is on the cards here. This kind of result could move Murray back into championship contention in the Clubmans. Consistency in the second half of the season is going to be key once again, I feel, for all of these guys and girls. We might see the end of the race on this lap, or it might be the next one. 20 seconds to go on the clock now. I think they'll get over the line for one more lap then. And this race is still not decided between these two. Max Andrews and Matt Swain went to battle in the first race. What are we about to see in the second race as we go on to the last lap then? Time's obviously a little bit quicker through this race with the track continuing to dry out. That's the first corner done. That's where the lead has changed twice in the last 2 races. Matt Swain not able to draw alongside. Gotta say, Andrews' work on the brakes has been very, very good across the course of these 2 races right now. He can control the speed into the corners as well. But Matt Swain knows Another race win here would be a real hammer blow to Max Andrews and the hopes that the driver, the number 50, has for the championship. Swain's trying to get in the mirrors there of Max Andrews. Max has dealt with it really, really well so far on this lap, but here could be a chance for Swain to draw alongside. They are going to be side by side towards the second chicane. They touch a little bit into corner entry. Swain has to go to the gravel. Andrews retains the race lead. Here comes Murray Adams as well. I don't think Murray's quite going to have enough speed to catch up to Matt Swain. That's going to be the key moment in this race then. Max Andrews should win this one. It's got a good gap now to Matt Swain. And here goes Adams down the inside. Adams is going to have a go. Adams is going to take second place. What a moment that could be. Not just for the Clubman race winner, but in terms of the points in the championship as well. That's going to give Max Andrews the lead on the evening with one race to go. Here they come then to the checkered flag. Max Andrews takes what could be a very important victory here at Zolder in race number 2. He's been very strong in the MX-5 so far this season and shows it again. Takes it ahead of Adams, ahead of Swain. In 4th place, it's going to be Tom Saunders, another haul of points. Second in Clubman there for the driver of the 110. Sam Sanders will start on the inside of row number 3 for the 3rd race of the evening. And look at this over the line. Oh, close finish there. Alston takes 7th ahead of Roberts. Peter Knight with 9th will be your top intermediate. Second in intermediate goes to Sam Dimolo. A bit of a setback for Matthew Shawnee across the line. Loses some points to some of his title rivals. Jack Mitchell-Lowe takes another win in the rookie category. Well-earned 2nd place as well in the rookie category for Sean Patterson, Colin Ward and Daniel Cook. Close again there, 3rd and 4th. And, well, the end of another really, really close run thing. There's always going to be a bit of an attack from Matt Swain. Let's have another look again. This was the moment down towards the 2nd chicane. And let's see if we can just get a different view on that one. Indeed, let's go on board with Swain. Oh, yeah, I think there was a little bit of a touch there between the two of them. Matt Swain did very, very well indeed to keep control of his car. Yes, have to take to the gravel, but not have anything more dramatic than that. Right, well, there we go then. That is the end of race number 2. We'll take you through the order then of how they looked. We've got a warm-up coming up, which is a bit of a warm-down for the drivers. But to bring you through then the results from race number 2, not from 19th place, from 1st place. Max Andrews takes the win then from Murray Adams. Well, we asked, could there be an improvement on best results of the season so far for Adams? The answer, yes. 3rd and 2nd so far tonight. Matt Swain, 1st and 3rd. Still has a very good chance of winning this round, but we'll have to do it from row number 2 in race number 3. Saunders, Sanders, Eyre, Alston, Roberts, Knight and Castro all in the top 10. Great run there for Peter Knight. That, I think, is a first win in the intermediate category in a race. That is. Grossman ahead of Watson. Watson up many positions in that one. I think in the end, Tom Roberts just turned over the tide in terms of biggest mover in that race. But both of them moving up very nicely from the back of the field. Sam Dimolo and David Whitehouse, 2 and 3 in intermediate. Matthew Shawnee, decent points again ahead of Lawrence Vines. Adam Brown and Jack Mitchell-Lowe completes the top 18. Another rookie class victory for Jack Mitchell-Lowe. Sam Spinell, P19, really isn't going his way. Qualifying was brilliant, but the race conditions have not been nice. And once again, we could get another turn of events here in the Clubman Championship Stakes. John Adey, P20, 5th of the intermediates, ahead of 2nd and 3rd in rookie, Sean Patterson and Colin Ward. That fascinating battle with Daniel Cook continues. James Fremont and Matt Hale come home in the top 25. And ahead of Simon Delamere, Eric Mignon, Atty Cooper, and that was 28 drivers this time on the lead lap. Off the lead lap, Aaron Singh, Tim Ellis, Kira Boylan,
Craig Brown, Asan Iqbal, Mike Weddle and Ollie Walker.
We'll take a short break here on the comms, and we'll be back with race 3 very, very soon.
But Andrew Mather, it's your first Kart Masters, so please bring them to the start.
15 minutes plus 1 lap are underway for the Grand Prix in Minimax 2025. It's a very good start for Emerson McAndrew. One of the SFRs is taking to the grass in the early stages, but apart from that, it looks pretty good. Finding the grip, 3-4 corners to go. What a win this is going to be for George Edgar. George Edgar wins gold. Gold for the United Kingdom. What a drive. Yes, it's not done yet, is Daniel Ferguson. He could have 14 positions, and here he goes down the inside on Ozzie Gibson. Ozzie Gibson tries to fight it around the outside, but nothing is stopping Daniel Ferguson in this race, particularly through turns 3 and 4 as Phillips goes for the lead. Phillips down the inside, and he takes it away from his teammate. What a move by Jesse Phillips.
He's coming back.
Cradham's going to give it him back. Here's the point where they've got to be careful. How many chains have we seen pop off there through turn 3 and 4? Everything was fine. As out of the race, he said Archie Owen, who's out of the race.
It's Evan Purcell
It's Evan Purcell. They've both gone. Here we go. It was always going to happen when it stacks up. Archie Owen and Evan Purcell's weekends and hopes of Miami Winter Cup victory are over.
Let's head across to Eli Christian, who's the first of our top 4 in the championship. Eli, yes, it's not pole position, but you are the highest ranked driver on the grid of those right at the sharp end of the championship. You've cut the lead to William Kalesia behind. Are you feeling you can do this? Can you take the championship lead today?
Yes.
So final lap board is going to come out now. Harry Bartle sees it, looking to take his 2nd win of the year. First win, first podium visit it would be as well, since all the way back at Dunk as well. Tinsley defends to the inside. I don't think Higgins is going to get involved in that though, because he has a 7-point advantage. But out of the final corner, Harry Bartle through the final 2 turns will take his 2nd win of the year, will take 2nd place in the championship and the place in Bahrain. But Matthew Higgins, from 2 weeks ago, a horrendous incident could have put pay to his season. It didn't happen for him 1 week ago at the World Championships, but here at PF International, a circuit where he's had so many successes over the years, he can now say for the first time he is Reeve Tools Motorsport UK Senior Rotax British Champion.
Let's go with Maria Neto around her home circuit on this year's calendar, the Cartodromo International Algarve. The lap starts quick with high speeds through the right-handers of turns 1 and 2 before a tricky stop on the brakes into another right-hander, turn 3.
This is the part of the course though where Kenzo Craigie has been really strong for the past 10 laps or so. Noah Baglin has got to hold it together. He's got to pick his line very carefully off of the Litchfield Bridge. This could be the key point into hairpin number 1. Baglin goes right, Craigie goes left. Craigie is nearly off the road. Both of them are off the road. Craigie's going to look for the switchback. Hairpin 2 is going to be another opportunity for them. Backlund goes defensive again. Craigie's got his node ahead. Can he get on the power? He's off the road. He's completely off the road. He's still side by side of Backlund and Craigie through the Fullerton S's. What a finish we're having here at PF International. It's still not done. You can overtake everywhere around the circuit. Craigie looks down the inside. He's got the lead. Welcome everybody once again to Kim Bolton. Whatever you're doing, put your phone on silent, put the tea down, do whatever you need to do to be ready for this, the title decider for 2025 in the Reeve Tools Motorsport UK British Kart Championships in KZ2. The Gearbox Short Circuit title is on the line. This is going to be a nail-biter, ladies and gentlemen. We have seen some stunning finishes in this KZ2 class in years gone by. You think back to the likes of 2019, you think back to last year as well. What is going to happen here in 2025? It's the Reeve Tools Motorsport UK British Car Championships. It's KZ2 and we are racing in the season finale. It's a good start for Price. It's a good start for Weston and Murphy. Stevens is already fighting for P4. Really good stuff. Maxim Rem goes around the outside of Finn McLaughlin to retake the race lead. McLaughlin responds down the inside. Rem's run wide there. Another couple of the US Racing runners also wide as they go into the infield. Where is Simon Strands in all of this? One of the Van Amersfoort Racing cars is off. There he is. There he is, the number 25 of Simon Strands, and you can just see from the body language of his car that he's miles quicker than everybody else. Got to keep his rear tyres in check as Simon Strands. That's what he was struggling with through turns 12 and 13 after the long run through 10 as he weaves his way through. What an incredible piece of driving there from Simon Strands, who's now up to, is it third place? There is Finn McLaughlin, who's going to be the next target for Simon Strands. So it's in this part of the course. He breezes past him as if Finn McLaughlin's not even there. Martins is going to be watching the mirrors down into turn one as we go back to green. Looking around the outside, there is Machado. That's a brave move through turn one, out onto the curb. He'll have the next corner to the advantage of the Aston Martin into turn number two. If Machado can make that work, that's one of the overtakes of the race, and he's done it. Oh, big spin. Oh, that's a big off for the Aston Martin 007. That, to me, looked not to be driver error. I wonder, is that some form of failure for the Aston Martin Vantage? That was a very high speed off. Got to say, the number 16 Toyota did very well to avoid any further incidents, and not a surprise, safety car scramble. This is what we want to see. This is the battle that I thought would occur before the start of this race. The Briton used to these conditions. Mike Halder with the strong record round this. Oh, they're off. They're both off. They're off into the gravel on driver's left out of turn 9. The battle is over. They're out of the race. And through back into the lead will go René Paulsen. What happened there? Brickley spins his front wheels. That's dug in. That's going no further. And coming through now is the number 28 of Eric Genet. Genet, who's never won a TCR Spain points race, has gone from 10th on the grid to lead at the end of lap season. It's going to be 7 wins out of 8. The only time he didn't win this season was when he was going up against a solo run against Lawrence Herr. A brilliant performance from Danny Sufi throughout the season. He won the title yesterday and he makes it a clean sweep at the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya. It's a Conrad Motorsports 1-2 with Zeno Ferret-Falca on the podium as well. Quentin Joseph over the line in third. That is provisional, of course, with the penalties to be Welcome back, everybody, to live comms and with a click of the button, live pictures here at Zolder for the third round. The third MX5 round. Round 5 in total for this year's CLUB100 iRACING Championship. Getting ready then for the final race of the evening, with the round very, very much still up for grabs. A win apiece so far for Matt Swain and Max Andrews, but crucially in that second race, Matt Swain in third means at the moment, as things stand, it will be a lead in the standings just for the night for Max Andrews. So he's going to be going into this one with a very, very strong opportunity of taking a round win. Let's take you through the grid. In fact, weather conditions still a little bit, it's clouded over a little bit over the last 10 minutes or so, but I still think we're going to be okay in terms of weather conditions and it being dry for this race. Everybody running on dry tyres. Let's take you through the grid then for this one. This is, of course, the finishing order of race number 2. Max Andrews and Murray Adams there on the front row. Matt Swain and Tom Saunders, they'll be on row 2. Sam Sanders and Jack Eyre on row 3. 3 premiers all on the pole side of the grid. That could be key down into turn 1. The flipperoo for Andy Alston, the clubman, on the inside of row number 4, and Tom Roberts on the outside. Peter Knight, great run in that last race. He's your top intermediate at the start of this race, starting on row number 5, and is alongside João Castro. Ronald Grossman next up alongside Cam Watson. They're both there on the 6th row of the grid. Moving down to row number 7, it's then Sam Dimolo and David Whitehouse. Keep an eye out for Matthew Shawnee and Lawrence Vines in this race, both going from row number 8. Adam Brown in the middle of the pack again, starts this one alongside Jack Mitchell-Lowe on row number 9. It's Mitchell-Lowe, also your top rookie in this race. Sam Spinell and John Adey, they go from row 10. It's then Sean Patterson and Colin Ward, a good mix of the rookies in this part of the grid, just ahead of Daniel Cook and James Fremont. Moving up the grid, not to row 123. Sorry, the tech support's gone a bit awry again. Let's hide that. Click that. Not quite sure why it's doing that. Let's go for row 11. See if that gives us any hopes of just going through the latter part of this grid. Where were we? Cook and Fremont, Hale and Delamere, Mignon and Cooper, Singh and Ellis, that's your top 30. Boylan and Brown take us down to row 16. Then Hassan Iqbal and Michael Weddle going from the back of the field. Ollie Walker right at the back of the order with a lot to do, starting P35. Right. With that done, one more race to go then. It's 25 minutes again for the drivers. Rolling starts. Apologies, that's on me. Clicked the wrong button in the lobby setup. But it has given the drivers something to think about going into these race starts. How does Murray Adams play this? Definitely doesn't want to jump the start. It's all down to the pole sitter when we go onto the loud pedal. Looks like we've gone early. Murray Adams trying to squeeze across there to retain second place, but we're away for race number 3. Great start for Max Andrews. Will lead down into turn 1. Who's going to hold second place though? It is going to be Matt Swain, who takes second place but gets a little bit of a wiggle on through the next part of turn number 1. Holds on to it. Tom Saunders, good start. There's Sam Sanders trying to go around the outside as well. Is in the early stages of this one up to 5th place. Let's go on board, in fact, with Sam Sanders. Potentially got a driver on the inside. Look at that. What a move from Jack Eyre to take 5th place away as we run towards the chicane for the first time in this one. Once again, it's Andrews and Swain at the front of the field. If the result was to go this way, though, it would be a round win to Max Andrews. Down towards the second chicane then. Looking through to see, have there been any incidents? Oh yes, I think there's been a problem for Tim Ellis in the early stages of this race. Oh, that's actually from the formation lap. I don't think that is an actual crash. Similar for these drivers. Apologies, I know why things are running a bit weird there. This is a look inside from the viewpoint of Hassan Iqbal. There went Hassan Iqbal, around in a moment with Kira Boylan. So, back with the live pictures. Sorry about that, we still have the slow-mo setting on from the end of race number 2. Oh, quite a few crashes. I think there's been a big incident involving Sean Patterson. What happened here? Down towards the hairpin. Is this all going to get a little bit squirrely? Yes, it is. As tipped round there was Sean Patterson, one of the parachuter carriers. Oh, and then everybody charges in. Oh, dear me. Everybody in the back half of the field cheers. Poor Hassan Iqbal as well gets reversed into whilst he was off the road trying to avoid. That is the biggest incident that we've seen so far this season, and pretty much all of the rookies and the second half of the intermediates have been taken out in that one. That is going to be quite the incident to unpick later on. Also seeing black flag on our screens for João Castro. Now, what has potentially happened here for João? Not seeing him as showing with a lap time from the previous lap. So I wonder, has it been a start infringement? Has he cut a corner and not served the slowdown? Something has happened there that may see the 121 falling down the order in the not too distant future. Back with the race leaders. Look at the gaggle that we've got here. This is not just 3 drivers involved for the race lead this time around. Saunders is still there, P4, Jack Eyre, Tom Roberts. I think you could go all the way to Sam Sanders there in 7th place, would all consider themselves still a big part of this battle for the race lead. Further problems around out on circuit. Sean Patterson's had another drama. What has happened here? I think actually no, this is going to be drivers recovering back to the pits, dropping below the crash speed threshold and it logging on the timing, so not an actual incident there. What has happened to Peter Knight as well? Peter Knight is in with a potential, I think this is a black flag, I think this is a penalty for Peter Knight. Not quite sure what has occurred there. And it'll be a short stop for Peter Knight, but puts him out of contention perhaps for the round winning intermediates. It's going to drop him a long way down the order. Back with the race leaders. Under the setting sun that's come out here at Zolder. Now, who was that running wide through the dust? Was that Jack Eyre? I think it was. So a mistake from Jack Eyre. It's going to fold back down the order. Still part of this front 7. In fact, it's going to fight in there and hold on to that 6th place, just ahead of Sam Sanders. Now, what this has done, it's allowed this top 3 to break away. So a bit of infighting, a bit of squabbling, as you often see in motorsports with a bit less power. The result has been that that group of 7 have split apart now. Seeing as well, mechanical flag for Sam Spinell. Sam Spinell, oh yeah, is stuck down at this first chicane. What has happened here with Spinell? Oh dear, into a shot there. Arrives, I think that's Peter Knight. Peter Knight in a bit of a spin through the first chicane. But Sam Spinell out. This has been a torrid night for Sam Spinell. Nearly an inspired run in times qualifying earlier on has just not gone his way. Now that was earlier on in the lap. Now what happened there? We'll try and get another look at that one. Here it was. It was Lawrence Vines on the left-hand side. Spinell spun around there. I think possibly there was an incident further on. Oh, down the same straight with Ollie Walker. I'm afraid to say it, Ollie Walker involved in yet another incident. That is not good to see, and I think Sam has just decided that that is his race run, his night run. Cam Watson's been involved in an incident as well, possibly with Jack Mitchell-Lowe. This was down into the chicane. Well, that's a bit ambitious from Jack. Round goes Cameron. And similarly, it's had a bit of a difficult night. Craig Brown's also had problems out there. Hopping across the curbs, lose the back end of the car. Oh, that's going to hit the wall. Bang again. 3rd race in a row that Craig is out of things by the halfway stage. Right, back with the leaders. All plain sailing at the moment for Max Andrews. I'll tell you what, that second half of the top 7, they've they've started to come back here. Roberts is back as part of the group, as is Saunders. So, I don't think Max Andrews is going to have everything his own way in this race. Here's the look back from Max Andrews. Shadow's getting long here as well at Zolder. I do feel that as the conditions get drier, it might continue to just nudge things in the favour of Max Andrews. I did say at the start of the night that someone needed to have a big performance, someone needed to take the fight to Matt Swain, and right now that is exactly what Andrews has done. The other side that he's got to play with right now, we've seen that it can be a bit difficult to overtake around this circuit tonight. Does he try and back Swain up? Does he try and move Swain down the order a little bit to increase the delta on points? It's a risky game, of course, because Matt Swain will sense that as an opportunity to go for the race lead. But right now things looking pretty good for the driver of the number 50. Let's go for a little wander down the order. Who is doing quite nicely? Let's go to the world of intermediates. David Whitehouse is currently your leader in the intermediate category. This has been a really solid night for Whitehouse, running in the Alpha Live car there. And has got a 3-second lead as well over Shawnee. Ollie Walker back up to 3rd place in the category. Down to 8 runners because Craig Brown is out of this one. Dan Cook leading as well in the rookie category. So for the first time this evening, Jack Mitchell-Lowe does not have full control of those on the black plates. The 322 is carrying a little bit of damage there. Got Mike Weddle just behind. Mike looking down the inside, recovering, of course, back through from earlier on in the race. And that will be Michael Weddle up to, what is that, 13th place overall, 6th in class. He's got a bit of a gap to bridge, though, before he catches up to the next Clubman driver, which is Lawrence Fines, up in 9th place overall. Change for 6th place overall. Jack Eyre has got back ahead of Sam Sanders there. Both of those two off the back of the pack, really. Needing a bit of action ahead of them to pull themselves back into the battle for the race win. Still scoring nice points right now. Here are your race leaders. Max Andrews doing a really good job at the moment. I do think there is going to be a little side of the tactics starting to come in here of how much can I bottle up those behind. There's a move for 3rd place. That looked to be Tom Roberts going for 3rd place. That could be danger then for Matt Swain. The driver who took pole position earlier on tonight had very strong pace at the start of the evening. Should just note that blue roll cage, that'll need changing to a red one for the next round. We'll get that sorted. But Tom Roberts hasn't got really any drop scores to play with, because he first came into the championship at round 3. So we already know what his worst GT3 night and his worst MX5 night are going to be. They're going to be rounds 1 and 2. So he's only really got one duff score across the course of a night to play with. But I think he's still got a chance here of making an impression on this championship, and he will want to do so with a move on the championship leader. I think Matt Swain knows it. You can just see that Matt Swain is starting to move around a bit. Is starting to put those ahead under pressure. Let's look at the battle box. Battle for the lead. High level of driver, of course, in this championship. All around 4 to 5k, these top 3. I think that also demonstrates just how much of a good job that Murray Adams is doing. But long-time viewers of this championship will have known for many a year
that on his day, Murray can mix it with the very best. I think there's also a back marker for the race leader to potentially deal with on 2 laps' time. I don't think they'll catch him on this lap. As we approach the halfway stage of this 3rd race of the night. Still nicely in the balance this round as to who takes the round win. Tom Roberts, of course, trying to recover some points lost earlier on in the night. Here's how the gap has developed between Roberts and Adams in recent times. Very much gone the way of Roberts. A little bit further up the order. Gap for Andrews peaked at 0.5 of a second at the last count, but every time that happens it just seems that Matt Swain has that ability to drive back. The roles are almost reversed now between these two. We saw in the first 2 races, it looked like Andrews had a bit more pace, but was bottled up behind Swain. Now, very much the other way around. Well, we'd say that, could this be part of the tactics again? Is Max Andrews just trying to keep this one close? Of course, saw Murray Adams get ahead of his title rival at the end of race number 2. Could still be a chance, of course, for Andrews to get back ahead in the championship later on in the season. I think he's got to win this race. He's got to start turning the points deficit over to Matt Swain. As we're in the middle part of the season, just trying to work. I think it's Aaron Singh. Yeah, it is Aaron Singh in his 2nd appearance in the Club 100 iRacing Championship, who is the back marker ahead. Problems though. Oh, now is there a problem for Andy Alston? Oh, the back markers run a little bit wide there. That's going to be a potential distraction for Andrews at the front of the field. Aaron Singh does nicely to get out of the way there. Goes fully off the circuit to do so, but that's fine. Hasn't caused any further incident. Problems for Sam Dimolo. Now, what happened here? This was the back end of the incident. I think we need to run back a little bit earlier than that to truly see what happened. And in fact, Sam has pulled off the road completely. That's a very strange one. Is that a potential issue with equipment? Not quite sure. Well, that was the first incident for Sam, and then this was the second one. Yeah, well, there's clear damage on the car, and I think he's just pulled it off to tow it back to the pits. Sorry, I thought it was going to be related incidents for Dimolo and Alston. For Alston, is this him just coming into the pits? I'm not sure why he would be coming into the pits. Oh no, it's not. It's a spin at the last corner. Well, half a spin, just catches it up. Is still running in the top 10. But that is how things have changed in the second half of the top 10. In the first half of the top 10, it's getting very close. I think Max Andrews is backing them up here. I think he's trying to get the likes of Roberts, the likes of Adams and Saunders involved here. This is a very, very tricky and at times risky game, though. I don't think Matt Swain's definitely going to go flying in at this stage. He knows right now, a first, a second, a third, yeah, it wouldn't be his best score of the year so far, but that's still a very good score. And in the context of this season, where a lot of drivers have been making mistakes, it really could be consistency that takes him towards a title. Right now he's continuing to bang those points in. Interesting though that Andrews has over the last half of this lap really started to kick away. Is this going to be the chance now, with a bit of real estate to use ahead of him? Is Tom Roberts going to go for a move into the first chicane? There's a bit more grip there now. Roberts is definitely having a look. No, doesn't fully commit to it. There is a bit of damage on the right-hand side, the wing mirror on Swain's car hanging loose. So there's been some rubbing and racing across the course of the first 10 laps of this one. 8 minutes to go in this race. Gotta say, Swain looks really good through these two chicanes. Over the top of the hill there. been able to just edge back towards Max Andrews, but it's in the medium speed and high speed corners where Andrews has a bit more of an advantage here tonight. Roberts is surely too far back this time around to have a go into the hairpin. And yes, the gap does indeed stay around 0.8 of a second. Checking further back then, Saunders and Adams, 4th and 5th right now. This result would give Murray Adams the round win in the clubman category. Really reignite the hopes. Oh, chance for second place. Sorry to cut away from that because here goes Tom Roberts. This is his chance. He's got his nose down the inside. He's got to make this move, you feel. He's going to have the tight line round the outside. Swain loses the back end of the car a bit and loses second place. That is what Max Andrews has wanted for the last 9 laps or so, is another one of those drivers behind to get ahead of Matt Swain. Tom Roberts has worked really hard to make this happen and has taken the opportunity. Matt Swain's going to look back down the inside, though. That's going to get tight through turn 3, and he's going to retake second place. Bit of a bold one there. Here comes Murray Adams. Murray Adams back up to P3. The gap has surely gone now to Max Andrews. He can run the last 7 minutes of this race knowing that he's got a round win nearly in the bag. And in a way, I think Matt Swain might be quite happy about that outcome, because not only has he disposed of Tom Roberts again, but he's managed to get a clubman in between himself and his next Premier rival. But look at the gap coming down. I think Max knows the deal here. Max is going to try and back everybody up, because look how much time he's losing here to Matt Swain. This is very intriguing stuff. But I totally understand why it's happening, because Andrews knows he needs to start turning some points over. There's been a change in the rookie category that we'll come back to. In fact, yeah, let's have a look at it now as to, I think I just saw a little flicker there on the ticker of Daniel Lowe losing the race lead in rookie to Jack Mitchell. Lowe, that's a better move down the inside into the second chicane. Through goes Jack Mitchell. Lowe back into the class lead. Well, this is really intriguing now as to how the rest of this race is going to unfold, how the rest of this round is going to unfold. Murray Adams back in 3rd place on board with the Scotsman now. If you've enjoyed the coverage, 2 weeks' time, last DDMM broadcast of the year of any sort, live racing or sim racing. 2 weeks' time, GT3s at Portimao for round number 6. Even if you're not able to race in this season as well, do head across to thesimgrid.com and the Club 100 Racing community page on there. All of the details for upcoming races can be caught up with. Give that page a follow. And of course, this championship open to any driver with a racing history in Club 100 or BUKC, current racing record in BPEC, a strong relation to any of the drivers above, or any individual with those aforementioned categories, and of course any driver who's part of a BUKC affiliated university racing society, or quite simply a Motorsport UK esports licence, including the free one. Of course, it's that time of year where licences are being renewed and signed up for 2026. So another lap ticks on by then. Still no change, but the pace is starting to increase at the front of the field. Roberts has dropped back a long way here and is now into the clutches of Sam Sanders. Sam Dimlow just pulling off to one side there, letting the traffic go through. Bit strange really this for Roberts. Started it very, very nicely indeed. Got up into second place, but after that bold one from Matt Swain down the inside, just seems to have lost his pace. I hope he's not carrying a bit of damage out there. Either way though, this is still going to be a bit of a point swing for Max Andrews. Remember, it's 80 points for a race winner on MMX5 night. 74 for second place. So this result would cancel out the losses in race number 1. So it would be the difference in points from race number 2. So the amount of points that Andrews would pull back. So what would that be? That would be, quick maths in my head, I want to say 10 points. Of course, drop scores to come into play later on in the season. Change for Cameron Watson. He's got through past Ollie Walker. This was into the first chicane. That shows you how much the first chicane entry has dried up. We weren't seeing any kind of moves into that part of the circuit earlier on in the evening. A nice move there from Watson. Moves him back up to P14. End of another lap then. Should be 2 to go. Oh, and I tell you what here, Adams has got a really good run. Adams has got second place. Adams has got second place. Now, what happened there with Matt Swain? Did Matt have a mistake? Really, we need to see a little bit earlier on than that. I think Adams might have had a go into the chicane, got Swain off the racing line, and got him out to the corner. That's really, really shrewd racing, if that is the case, for Murray Adams. And I'm going to go further than this is back. This is Murray Adams back on form. This is one of the best performances across the course of a whole night that we've seen from Murray Adams in his entire time in this championship. Lawrence Vines has had an issue. What has happened here down in towards turn number 1? Vines is the car at the back of this group. Back end over rotates into the gravel. Well, not quite into the gravel. We'll recover that one and don't think actually loses any positions. In the end, where was Vines? Well, Vines at the moment in 14th place. Could be a good night for Lawrence Vines in terms of championship scoring. He's been consistently up in the top 15. Here we go then down in towards the hairpin for the penultimate time in this race. It's been a superb run from these 3 drivers tonight. They really have been a cut above the rest. Just to have a very quick run down the categories. Matthew Shawnee right now has the lead in intermediate. I think this is again going to be another good night for Matthew Shawnee in terms of championship. Led, or was the top intermediate in the standings at the start of the night. It's very much still going to be the case, and with the problems with Sam Dimolo in the 3rd race here, I think he's going to again take a big chunk of points out ahead of his rivals. John Adie's not had a particularly good night as David Whitehouse had a bit of a trip through the gravel there. Jack Mitchell-Lowe should be on for the points victory in the rookie category as well. Just gets back ahead of Lawrence Vines there. But here is the driver who right now is set for the win, not just in this race but in the round. And on a night where Max Andrews really, really needed something special to stop the run for Matt Swain. So far, he has done just that. He's still not got this race won. He's only got 0.4 of a second over Murray Adams there in second place. And you've got to think that Matt Swain might still have a chance here of going for second place into the final hairpin. Murray Adams, though, the kind of night that he's having, could still go for the race lead here. Andrews is going to have to defend. He's going to have to defend down towards the hairpin. What a run this is for Murray Adams. He's looking this way, he's looking that way. No way through there. No, I think Andrews is going to hold on to this one. Down the straight once more. Adams is still there. Adams, well, he's already got one move done out to the final chicane. Could he do it again? Side by side almost as they run through the last couple of corners. Exit's going to be critical. It's going to be a classic DDMM drag race to the line. Can Adams hold second place? Can he nip the lead at the end? No, he can't. Max Andrews wins race 3. Max Andrews wins the round. He crucially holds on to the points advantage from early on in this race. It's not job done. Of course, he's got to keep this form going throughout the course of the second half of the season. But that, again, just reminds that in this championship season, it is not Matt Swain's title, yet he will have his adversaries. What a job, though, from Murray Adams tonight. P3, P2, P2 again. Nearly took a race win right at the end there. That is a superb run indeed that gives him the Clubman victory. Now, hang on a minute. Have we had a change on the last lap? I think we have. I think David Whitehouse has overtaken for the Clubman lead late on. It was out of the first hairpin. David Whitehouse has taken the race win in intermediate. What a superb run from David Whitehouse tonight. That is the moment that decided it. Not quite sure what happened to Shawnee there. We'll tally the points up. Keep an eye on Double-MM social medias for the race report later on. But that could well be a round win, I think, for David Whitehouse in the intermediate ranks. Just running again over the line. A few more drivers to finish. Atty Cooper finishes P25. I think Peter Knight is going to be our final driver over the line. And then we'll have a look through how things ended in that one. Bit of an up and down night for Peter Knight, who in fact I think has got an incident points penalty on the last lap. It won't be served. That I think will be converted into time penalty, but he won't lose any positions because he's the last car on the lead lap. Over the line. Does that now give us a race result from the feature? Yes, it does. So we'll just put those numbers in for the full results that we'll bring up on your screen in a moment. Apologies for some of the tech issues tonight, folks. And we'll bring you the results then from that last race of the evening. Max Andrews takes his second win of the night. Murray Adams, where did that result come from for Musa? But a big haul of points that really does bring the Scotsman back into play in terms of the Clubman points standing. Swain, Sanders, Roberts all in the top 5. Saunders, Eyre, Grossman, Alston and Weddell in the top 10. Ronald Grossman, I think, will be quite pleased with that result, having not been able to take part or compete in qualifying. That is not a bad night in terms of damage limitation for the German. David Whitehouse takes another intermediate win. I'm going to say it, I think that's the best night David Whitehouse has ever had in this championship. A really, really good set of results in tricky conditions as well, just ahead of Matthew Shawnee, who, again, I think can be quite pleased with the results here tonight. Cam Watson, 13th. He's had a few battles tonight, a few scars and wounds out there on his MX-5, but strong points and definitely keeps himself as part of the discussion for the Clubmans. Jack Mitchell-Lowe, very good night for Jack, using his Mazda experience, particularly in the slippery conditions early on in the night. P14 in that race, and top rookie once again ahead of Daniel Cook, who may well have taken the rookie standings lead with that result. Beating out Colin Ward. Lawrence Vines, a bit of an up and down night for Lawrence in the end. P16, that one ahead of Ollie Walker and Eric Mignon. Apologies, my trying to type in 19 is not running well. We'll go 10 rows at a time. We'll click that button there. That takes us down to, as I say, Eric Mignon P18. Good result there for Eric. P3 on home soil, of course. Virtually at least. Tim Ellis and Matt Hale. Decent night for Matt Hale as well, up in the top 20, I think, quite a few times in these race results. Simon Delamere, P21 ahead of John Adey, Kira Boylan, James Fremont and Athena Cooper. All good improvements there for some of our rookies. Delamere having the strongest season so far, and for Boylan and Cooper, that's another step forward for the young ladies in the 314 and the 316. Peter Knight, very up and down night. Very good second race, not a good third race at all. But at least comes home with points with a time penalty at the end, P26. Sam Dimolo, hello mate, I can see you in the chat. Screen kept going black, that's the problem. But at least got home in P27 ahead of Sean Patterson. And then the rest of the order, Colin Ward, Aaron Singh, Craig Brown, Hassan Iqbal, and then retirements for Sam Spinell, Adam Brown and Joao Castro. Not quite sure what happened there to to Brown and Castro. We'll have to review that later on. Those are your results then. We're going to wrap up tonight. Apologies for the technical error of me setting rolling starts and not gridded starts, but I think in consideration, the drivers may have been quite happy to get a little bit of heat in the tyres on those formation laps. We will have rolling starts for the GT3s in 2 weeks' time. We'll be at Portimao for that one. Very much looking forward to what that circuit race is like. We've not done any racing at all around that circuit previously. And we'll have to see whether Max Andrews can continue this kind of form. A round win for car number 50 potentially reignites a title challenge. 2 race wins and a second place. A very high score indeed. That'll be 234 points for Max Andrews, his best of the season so far. If you've enjoyed the broadcast, make sure that you have subscribed. We'll be back here 7:20 Tuesday night, 2 weeks' time for round number 6. Thank you very much for joining us here this evening. This has been the 5th round of this year's Club 100 iRacing Championship. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time at Portimao.